Okay. Just like that. Oh, it is. All right, guys. I hope you're all making money this fine Friday. If not, or you just have a no-show, or you're bored, you want to talk shit about the industry, just talk shop. Free to jump in, guys. Anybody who's not in elite or not in family and you want to take advantage of some free coaching, some free training, or just want to talk, free to jump in. I'll stick around for the next 5-10 minutes. When Lee jumps in, I'm going to bounce. So up to you guys to avail of it while it's here.
Jim Jams.
Who's that? The big man.
Come on.
Going on, fella?
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Maybe.
All right. Yesterday was fairly quiet, but stack calendar for the rest of the evening today.
Where are you? Are you back in the UK? Were you or not?
I'm in Ireland right now. Yeah. Thinking going over to the German for a few weeks, maybe.
Germany, you mean, or German?
No, the German over to Lucas in Switzerland. Go look at mountains and lakes and shite.
Shite is right. What's going on, eh?
Not too much. Just counting cash, really. Figuring out what to do with it and not making mistakes with it. That's the big concern going forward.
Then whatever you do.
Yeah, I know. I need to talk to you about that. I know you've made mistakes already, so.
Don't ask Nikki.
Figure it out. If I ask Nikki, I'll be in the AP shop, so that won't be happening.
You will. Yes, you will. What's going on anyway? Any news going on inside, or how's everybody?
No, there's a lot of people coming in recently, so a lot of new faces I'm seeing on coaching calls, which is nice to see. People progressing, people making money, usual stuff. Nothing new there. I think people know at this stage where to come for if they actually want to make some money and not be fed dreams. But yeah, same old business as usual.
We got some. We got the snowflakes.
Yeah, we got some hate coming around.
I love it. People, guys like that. We're Irish and we love banter. We love sticking our foot in and seeing all these people squirm.
Yeah.
And bawl and cry and whinge. And you're like, hey, this is just how I feel. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you pick it up or not?
That's it.
Everyone gets so butthurt by it. We'll be just laughing, just creaming ourselves, laughing at all the snowflakes. What's going on?
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Yeah, well, this one now I'm on the better leads on the main offer, so I don't have to do 7 days a week again, which is nice. So less of a numbers game.
All for a reason, as they say.
Yeah, is what it is. It needs to
let's
be.
Say it is right. If we were on a fitness offer, let's say it is right, and let's put some of this to bed. Let's say we're on a fitness offer, and I super hard close you on the front of the call. How do you think that would go on an account like Bishop?
I'll just be like, no, I can't afford it instantly. And I'm not assuming here because I've seen it done.
No.
You know, I've tried it myself. I've tried it on a few calls and it just went down like a lead balloon. I was like, oh, I'm not burning those leads again.
Nope. Or let's say you sell windows, right? Let's say you sell windows or something. And you rock up to this person that has you and 5 other people coming out to install new windows. And you get there and you say to this person, hey, appreciate you bringing us out today. Now, before we get started, are all the decision makers here today? Straight away, they're like, huh? So then they say, yes, I think so. My wife is here. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to walk around and I'm going to show you what type of windows that I can put in here. When it comes to making the decision today, are you okay to make that decision? And that decision needs to be yes or a no.
No, not happening.
What are they going to say to you?
I'm just going to say, well, I don't know. I need to see what it is. I need to think about it. You're going to get the objections there and there, there and then.
Now, when we do make that decision, we roughly make a decision and it's around 50,000 to 150,000 and above to fully kit out your entire windows and doors. Is that a decision you can make today without speaking to your wife or your business or your bank? So that's gone. So that's done. So the fitness is already done.
Yeah.
That's already done. Let's say you're selling YouTube automation or something. You jump on a call with some nervous 22-year-old kid in the back end of Bulgaria, and you say to this kid, "Hey, buddy, are you okay today?" And they say yes. And then you say, "Okay, what we're going to do for the next 25 minutes, I'm going to tell you everything that we're doing. At the end, you're going to have to make a decision. And that decision is going to be yes or no. Are you okay to make that decision today?"
Deer in headlights.
And then you turn around and say to him, "Okay, well, if you are able to make that decision today, now the rough estimate of how much this is going to cost you to move forward is around $7,000 to $10,000. And he completely shits the bed and hits the red button. See, what this will do, it'll just induce a tremendous amount of pain, problem, and concerns into people that don't know how to handle objections, that won't know what to do on the front end of a call, and completely distorts the reality of what you're supposed to do.
And I see where it's coming from. It's the people who can't do it don't want to take 8 calls a day and close 2, but it's like, just get better, close more deals, right? Because the other side of it is no business owner is going to give you, say a business owner gives you a leeway, you start a new offer, you get 30 calls to prove your worth, and you disqualify 22 of those calls in 5 minutes.
Don't get me wrong, it does work and it can work. But for 80% of the market, it won't work and it can't work because 80% of the market, you're going to be dealing with insecure people. You're going to be dealing with people that, you know, are not necessarily cash rich. People have just seen an ad, clicked on a link, jumped through a couple of hoops, ended up in a call. People that probably don't know who your influencer is, X, Y, and Z. It'd be like this, right? You walk into a fucking TV store and the sales manager comes up and says to you, "Hey, appreciate you walking into the TV store. Now, before you leave today, you're going to buy a TV. Is that okay with you today?"
Yeah, no.
You know, it just ethically, it just doesn't make sense. You know?
Yeah. But it just brings it back to logic. If you have somebody who's a total laydown, like if you have me on a sales call, I'm probably going to say, "Yeah, I'm good to go," because I don't jump on sales calls until I'm ready to buy something.
Yeah,
right. But how many of those leads, if you take 100 leads, how many of those calls are going to be that kind of person?
Yeah, don't work. That's the issue. You know, but say la vie, I'm the bad guy for calling out the obvious again.
Yeah, I think it's the ideal. Every closer in the world would love to jump on and just get laydowns in 10 minutes. But
best thing in the world.
How many offers are you going to be able to do that on?
Realistically, it don't work for the mass of the market. You know, and the other side, right? Try it. Watch yourself. Watch your tank bounce off the floor. Watch your income just drop. Because the other side of it is if you don't know how to objection handle and you bring the objections to the front of the call, you're still not going to be able to overcome them anyway. Yep. So even if you bring them to the front of the call, you're still not going to be able to overcome them anyway. So what's the point? There's not one person that got better at objections and made less money. Just makes no sense. You know, say, Levi, what's going on? What can you do? I love
big boys are in the house.
I love throwing the fishing rod out. Sometimes I pick a whopper up. Most of the time they're a couple of bites, but sometimes you pick a complete whale and pull them in out of the water. It's always fun. It's always fun. This fucking office bite drives me around the bend that this happens. Jake, what's going on with you little bollocks?
What's up, Bill? How you doing?
Good.
James, Christian. Nice to see you
spoke to a
guys.
lady that
like
knows
Canadian
you.
friend.
What?
Spoke to a lady that knows you.
Yeah, Mel, is that correct?
Is that her name?
Yeah, was it about the call situation, the STA thing?
No, it was something else.
I don't know.
How's she doing? What's going on with her?
Doing great. It was about recruiting closers, things like that. So I'm helping the team out on the side. So
They making more cash?
Yeah, last 2 months ago, there was a lot of changes with marketing, a bit the offer, the angle, things like that. It's still a new offer ramping up, But 2 months ago they had 9 closes, and last month they did 19 closes. So it's definitely improving.
Good, that's good. What's going on? How's everything else?
Everything else is pretty smooth. Been 2 full months on the new offer, and still #1. And this month is a bit slower with the holidays, things like that. The funding is closed for a few days, and so I think the first 2 weeks of July are going to be a bit slower, and I'm taking some time off. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying
time off. You should all take
what.
time. Everyone in sales should be taking time off in the summer. You should work your face off the first 6 months of the year, take 2 months, 6 weeks off in the middle, and then go hard for the last 4.5 months. That's what you should be doing.
I'm seeing how it plays out even now with the holidays. Like I have a lot of prospect that like it's gonna like they're like 5 days away, things like that, and it's like it's kind of stalling everything. So you have to go with the slower season, but
You're still crushing it though. That's good.
yep.
How
How you guys doing on the inside? No, there's a lot of new people that are jumping in as well.
Yeah, lots of new faces.
All is good. Everyone is happy, which is good. As far as I know. They don't tell me anyways. Just in the background. Christy, what's going on with you, big dog?
Still haven't shaved this thing off my face. That's all. Nothing
Huh?
new.
You what?
Nothing new. Just chilling. Doing a little bit of traveling.
Did your jumper fit you?
It's a little tight on the chest, shoulders, and arms. I'll say it's a little.
It's a
Still wee
multiple
bit.
fit, I think.
Just means you're fat.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm thinking of putting it on the wall and just like framing it like people will like a sports jersey or something. And then whenever we have the event in Austin or whenever the next event is, wherever it is, take like the
Rio.
group picture of all of us, put it in there next to it. It'd be sick.
We'll all sign up. You can
Yeah.
stick it on the wall.
Yeah, there's some guy in the Dublin customs office. I bet it fits well on him too. Snake.
That will be a claim to fame because that was the first batch that was ever sent out. There you go. They will never
Honored.
be a first again.
Honored.
They're part
I feel like a G now. I was talking on a call with a recruiter.
yeah.
I think it was yesterday, and they were like, "What's one big achievement you've made lately?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I got a hoodie," and they were like, "What?" It's like it's the first batch from Bill Walsh. He was like, "Oh, dude, that guy's a G." It's like, "Yeah, he's cool." So it was a good time. It's
Good.
fun.
Good. What's the plan for the weekend? What's the focus?
I'm doing a little bit of work this weekend. I'm out of town, but I'm focusing on getting a few different offers kind of up and running.
How many offers
Working
are you
on-
on, bro? You're already on like 4.
Yeah. So I'm officially on 3 right now. I dropped 1. And then I've got another one that they want me to help them build up. So that might be a 4th. We'll see. 3 feels good, sitting pretty with that. But one of them is only like 5 calls a month. So super duper low volume, but super high ticket. So that's really helpful. I'm really on like 2. And then that 3rd one is just once a week, maybe. So it's fun. Having a good time.
Yeah. Oh, you still with the Airbnb offer, Jacob?
No, I left.
What are you doing now?
What?
What are you doing now?
The cybersecurity one. I was doing for a bit. I was kind of transitioning. Basically, I'm helping people get into cybersecurity. It's a 11.8K offer. It's like more like career/biz op. But they have like really good volume and just handling the 2 of them. And the Airbnb was really low volume for. I think they were just overstaffed. Like there were 3 closers. They were like, we're booked out 2 weeks in advance, blah, blah. Then they bring like another 4 of us for like 7 closers. And then we have like 5-10 calls a week each. So, yeah, I kind of dropped it after London. I had a few closes like from follow-ups in April, but and I pretty much like went out.
Why would you bring in like 7 closers? Crazy.
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
it was a
I think
newer
they're the
offer too,
shit.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
They do it
that's
just
the
to
thing I
plug people
see.
and then get rid of the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, I've seen this more and more, like big offers, like even this offer I'm on now, they had 4 closers, I think, and within like 2 weeks, like in the batch that I joined, like we were 4 closers. At the beginning, it was like choppy with the call volume, but now they've figured it out.
I've been told straight up when interviewing for offers, they bring on multiple closers and then they just cut the ones who can't keep up.
Yeah.
And you get
We
dealt the shit leads.
It's to
We can
shorten
have-
that time investment.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend 6 weeks ramping up a closer who ends up being
Right,
shit
when
and
they
then they have
ramp
to take
up
another
2,
6
4,
weeks.
or 6 at the exact same time. It's like this, if you go for trials for NFL, you're not doing it on your own, you're doing it with 800 people. 80 people, the best people will stay, and you keep going through the stages until you end up getting a contract. That's how it works.
Yep.
That's what people don't realize. Like, you're in competition everywhere you go. Every step of the market. And what will happen is the really good quality offers will keep you in a probation period for 2 to 3 months. And they'll keep seeing, can you play under the pressure? Up and up and up and up and up, and then you'll get a contract to work with them full time. That's how it's going to go. You got to prove your work before they give you, as Jimmy Hayes says, the best leads. So it works. Because the way the market is going with the cost of everything and I suppose, the rise in numbers of the amount of closers that are out there, they can just afford to, leave you batted out. Give you 50 calls between 3 or 4 people and see who wins out of all of it. See who's going to go out of their way to keep pushing it. That works. The days of just getting on an offer and then you're the only person on that offer and you're completely bulletproof, way over.
For them, they want to spread they want to spread the risk too, of like if you have just 2 closers and one of them goes sick, goes on holidays or leave, then like they lose half of the business. Like
That's what happened me with 7-Eleven. After 2 months, we were in negotiations about different bases and pay and stuff like that. And then after that, once we sorted that out, the availability started splitting up into different closers. And they basically were like, well, look, we can't have everything going through you again. So that's what happened.
Yeah, it's much like everything is just centralized to you.
And it makes sense, I see it as a business owner now. You can't just put it all into one basket, unfortunately. It's just how it works, but it is what it is. Jimmy, did you put through the sales form?
Yeah.
You did?
I did. Yeah, it still wasn't updated, so I just put it in as the older one and just put it in the notes.
Are you stuck with anything?
Not really. What's next? What do I do with the commissions?
For real. Be like Joshy.
Your commissions.
Yeah, I know what Joshy's done with his. He just told me.
What is
For
he
real
doing
this
with
time.
this?
Gosh, dude.
My
How about Ferrari?
What?
little R8.
Yeah, he got an Audi.
Do whatever the fuck you like with your money. That's the first thing. If you want to be clever about it. See, the problem that salespeople have, and my good friend Nikki Schroeder is a prime example of it. When you make money, quick money, you end up wanting to spend it just as quick. So you make 10K, next minute you're spending 12, the next minute you're chasing the 2. That's the problem. I still live broker than all you people. You know how I actually took out this offer, right? I'll tell you how broke I am. I'll tell you how financially broke I feel every day. So they took out this office, and there was an office on the outskirts of this office block that outlooks into window and all this kind of stuff. It's a 4-man thing, and it cost about £1,000 a month. I was like, I'm not paying £1,000 a month for an office. I was like, what's your cheapest one? And she was like, this one inside here. I was like, okay, let's have a look at that one. So it's about I don't know, it's about fucking making on it, but losing it at the exact same time. So make it in and put it somewhere where if I was starting all over again, I would make it and I will put it into an account that I can't touch for like 12 or 24 months. Into an interest builder or something. You know, you just put it into, you make 3, 4, 5% on it, you just make it and you put it away.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out, like my biggest fear with this is like kind of scaling as well, the spending habits, because you just have like so much money, oh, we can do this, we can do that. And then one thing, you know, or a slower month goes by, like, oh geez, like things are tight now. And now I'm just thinking, what's the next thing? I bounced off that with Jimmy a lot, like over Messenger, but just figuring out like what's the next thing. And now it's kind of like finding in terms of the time, right? Because there's only so many hours in a day, and you take calls, and you do follow-ups, things like that. And then you're like, okay, if I want to do like property, for example, then you have to put some time learning that, putting time in the business there, things like that. So it's
Not
kind of
passive.
figuring out like,
There's not passive. It's going to take more
Yep.
time from you. What I would also say to you guys is don't ever turn off the big tap. So if your money maker is your on calls, then that's just it. What I would do, guys, like if your idea is to be on calls and you want to make a ton of money quickly, I would put it away. So I'd make a ton of money. I would just give myself 2 years. I wouldn't focus on investing. I wouldn't focus on money making schemes. I wouldn't focus on businesses. I wouldn't focus on property. I would focus on nothing for the next 24 months and just work on the business and make as much money as you possibly can. Put it in an account where it's interest only, meaning that it's not going to cost you money to leave the money in there. And then I would just work my face off for 2 years. And in the end of 2 years, I would look up and say, okay, I have 300K sitting in a bank account. Now I want to use it. That's what I've done. That's what you're asking. That's what I'm doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle of those 2 years, basically, at that point.
Yeah. Because I tell you, because I bought properties, and the amount of time, effort, commitment, time away from the business it takes is fucking retarded. But again, you won't know that until you do it. It's kind of like the hot stove, you know, scenario. You won't know until you touch it yourself how hot it is. So what happened is you're making 20K, 30K a month. You go away, you reduce your call volume down by a third, you know, and then you get some bad leads. And then you're putting more time into buying a property and then renovating it and hiring this person, and this person doesn't turn up, and then the water didn't turn up, and then the person who put in the internet didn't turn up, and then this and that, the other stuff. Before you know it, your income has gone from 25K down to 7. And now you're scrambled because now you're tied into this mortgage, and you're split in 2 ways because you got to make sure that's right to be able to get this right. But I always say, like, if you think of it, like, how many properties would you need to get up and running to make the money that you're making from just putting the time, effort, and commitment into doing what you're doing right now?
A lot of properties.
Yeah, because you guys don't have HMOs there. You don't have ways where you can double up and triple up. I think you have like multi-family homes and stuff there. But if you think, right, if you want to make, let's say you want to make 20K a month from property, that's gonna take you at least 20 to 40 properties, anywhere from 1,000 to 500 net on the top, minus subscriptions or minus, you know, mortgages and, you know, payments and voids and X, Y, and Z. How much capital do you have to put in to be able to buy 20 properties?
Yeah, you need a few million.
You need about 4 million liquid cash to be able to buy 20 properties.
Yeah, probably the best way to do it at the moment is like investing into, not saying like with Cardone specifically, but like more like in a fund setup where you'll get a depreciation. You like, so this way you just find someone that's like trustworthy and that you can just
100%. You go partners, you make the money, you bankroll it, he builds the property business, and you go 50-50 on it, and then in 10 years time you cut it up, whatever. Good way to do it. And Canvas is in the motions of doing something like that. But that's a good way to do it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you just don't want to take too much things on your plate at the moment. If you're making money, I always tell people to keep making it. There you go.
Yeah, it's the time. The time is the big one. Like, even the 6 weeks or so when I was doing 7 days, it was like there was stages where I was like, I'm just going to take a few hours off. I don't care what it costs me in commissions. Like, you need to have your fucking headspace as well, because otherwise you just burn the candle from both ends. You're coming into calls carrying baggage from previous calls and previous days, and it's just it's a one-way street to burn out.
Yeah.
It's like putting a price on your free time and your leisure as well. Like, it gets to a point in terms of commissions, like the difference between 25K and 30K, if that's working weekends as well, like at what stage do you put a price on actually being able to live your life, the life that you got into this industry for?
That's the reason. That's the reason you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
That's always the battle I have with, for example, my girlfriend, where we go in the evening and I'm like, oh, I have like this book that I have, like this and that. It's like, oh, okay, but we can also like go on a walk, go to a restaurant, dinner, and like always like that internal fight about like progressing or like actually enjoying the rest and like getting back after the next day or things like that.
Yeah. But it's a balance too, because like you can do that, you can work your 7 days. Yeah, you have more call volume, but your performance is down at like 50%. So the amount of calls you're taking, your closing rate is worse, your performance is worse, your headspace is worse. Like, taking a day off and taking a break and actually being better for the rest of your calls, like, that's the judgment you need to make.
And being in a better mood because you're not like annoyed to talking to a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, bro, tell me about it.
Let me ask you this, guy. Do you enjoy being in sales?
I do. I wouldn't do anything else.
No.
Everyone.
You enjoy it?
I do now because I know what to do. Fucking definitely didn't in October.
That's the key. That's the key, knowing what to do.
I think I enjoyed it a lot more a few months back. I think now I'm kind of getting into not a routine, but like it's just like a bit feeling a bit robotic and kind of getting a bit more bored by it, so to speak. I do it more because it gives money than because I'm like really actually enjoying it, if that makes sense. Like, it's more like a golden handcuffs feeling right now, like kind of feeling that I'm stuck because of the paycheck.
I do see that.
Like there's nothing else I could do that would give me that right now, unless it would take a few years to get up to that point.
It is boring. Like, it is boring. That's the problem. People think it's this taking a trip to the fun fair every day. It's not. Like, when you get so good at it, it's like this, right? How many, like, do you all have a favorite roller coaster? Everyone does.
Been on a roller coaster.
I don't really like roller coasters, but yeah, this will make sense. But if you ride the same roller coaster every day, on the 7th day, it's pretty boring, right? Because you know exactly the turns, you know the way you're going to feel, exactly what's going to be the outcome when you get off the roller coaster. Well, this is the game. The other side of it is that, like, you can still have a boring life, you know, cutting grass. As well.
Everything's boring if
That's
you do
it.
it long enough.
It's the cost of an action for yourself. Like, what are you in it for? What's your why? What's your future pace?
Yeah.
Like, are you here to look at money in your bank account, or are you here to use that money to actually live the life that you want? See, that's
like, if you want to excite and be a police officer where every day you don't know if you're going to go home, like, that's cool. Like, that's great. That's wonderful. Like, that's the excitement you want. And sales is not the game. You mean, fireman or a police officer or something where, you know, you don't know if you're going to get home every day. That's the excitement people want. Sales is not the game. Sales should be the most boring thing that you do every day. You should be cashing in time for a tremendous amount of money. You should be okay with that.
Yeah, I think Shawnee Ray needs to jump
I'm
on.
bored. Hey, I'll tell
Police
you,
versus
I'm bored.
sales.
I'm bored every day too. I'd rather be bored here than bored when I was standing on the side of a mountain with some fake gun, fucking digging holes in the middle of Ireland. That was boring too. Freezing my nuts off, haven't washed in 4 days, didn't even brush my teeth in 4 days. Yeah, that was boring too, you know. So
Yeah, but you were not even making money, and you were in, like, it was physically difficult. Now it's like more of a mental kind of boring.
pick your poison, dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the golden handcuffs, as you say, dude. But that's where it comes into, like, what's your why? What are you doing this for?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. There's nothing like this out there that's not taking on all the risk of starting your own business and taking on the sales and the marketing and the customer support and everything else. There's nothing else like it where you can go from making nothing to making more than a surgeon in months. It's
Actually,
It's surreal.
life. It's a cheat code on life, really.
Yeah. It's surreal.
The cheat
Yeah.
code. I could have very easily just been as happy, being a sales guy as I am the business owner. And that's what I don't think salespeople don't realize. You got no risk, you got no overheads, you got nothing. You got a headpiece and a laptop and a quiet room with some internet in it. That's your overhead. Do you know what I mean? Like anything above 5K, you're creaming it. You got no risk. You got nothing. And we talk about the property aspects of things. If you want to make 20K a month on property, you're talking 3.5, 4 million liquid that you've got to put in some. Where are you going to find that? Where are you going to make that? How are you going to get that? You think about we're sitting on a multiple 6-figure income for no overhead, all profit, except for tax. How much is the internet costing? $20.
Solvable too.
Do you know what I mean? $20 a month. What's the headpiece cost? £200 a month or £200 a year?
20 quid.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Jacob's flexing on us all here with the AirPods Pro.
I won't tell you guys how I got them, but they did not cost much. I'm going to tell you that. I'll tell you in the DMs. It's
That's what you were doing in Leicester Square. That makes sense.
You what?
Nothing.
Hey, we're coming back to the US, Jacob. I know you're Canadian, but you'll have to come down and hang around with us for a couple of days.
When are you guys going?
Good question. I don't know, Jimmy. What do you think? I think maybe October, November.
October, November, I was going to say, yeah.
October and in November, something like that.
Yeah.
December could be a good time as well, seeing as sales are so slow. It's a lot less costly to take off. If not Christmas time, obviously, but it's a lot less costly to take time off in December.
Maybe the last week or two in November, something like that.
Yeah.
Leading into December.
Yeah, let me know. I'm going to Toronto this weekend and next weekend in Dallas. So.
Toronto sucks ass by. What are you doing in Toronto?
Happy wife, happy life, as they say.
Oh,
We're going to go see Beyonce
Oh, that's all right.
concert.
Oh, bro, that's like
It's
my
literally
worst
a-
nightmare.
When are you going to
Literally
Dallas?
my worst nightmare.
Dallas is next Thursday to Sunday, so it's
Oh.
the 13th to the 16th.
What's in Dallas?
It's the company I'm at. They were hosting an event and we're supposed to sell in person, but then they canceled the event because of some last minute change, things like that. But they're still doing an in-person meetup, and they're flying us all in and hotels, things like that. So
Sure, nice. They can't obviously
Yeah.
cancel anyway because they won't get the money back, so they may as well.
yeah, the flights, the hotels, everything is booked already. So that's why it's kind
That'll
of
be
it's kind
good.
of a bummer. It's gonna be fun. It's kind of a bummer. You're like, well, I could have taken calls, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Live
again,
event sales are
enjoying the-
unreal, dude. Josh Bean did a live event there last month, made 8K in 2 days. It's crazy.
Where's that?
Yeah, I saw this story.
Over
I
in
think
New Jersey, I think it was.
he's business acquisition, I think, what he sells, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a biz op, teaching people how to do it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm on an
Where
offer
are you, Christian? You're in Texas, but what part?
down in Houston. It's about
What's the weather like there in November?
November's nice.
What does that
Not
mean?
too bad.
Is
I
it
mean,
hot?
November would probably be high 60s, mid 60s maybe. So it'd be really nice.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Fahrenheit.
And-
Yeah,
Yeah,
what is
it's
that?
probably 10, 15 Celsius or something, maybe. I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know, you weird Celsius people.
Let's have a look. What did you say it is? 60 what?
Probably 65-ish.
65 Fahrenheit.
Nice to Celsius.
18. That's all right.
18 is fine.
Jimmy, we'll get a 10 now, buddy.
Yeah, Jake, when you said 10, I was like, get out of here. Let's go to Rio.
I mean, I said 10 to 15. It was very approximate.
18 is all
15
right. That wouldn't be too bad.
18 is fine. I'll be in shorts and a t-shirt. Easy stuff.
Maybe Texas. I'm not sure yet. Let's figure it out after
Texas would be nice.
In Austin,
I'm out of here. I'm going for coffee. See you later, ladies.
I'm off coffee
You're off.
for the next 2 weeks. Go on.
Oh,
Huh? No, I'm
Sure.
off coffee.
yeah? Why?
Yeah. because I've been absolutely slamming it, and I get zero effect from caffeine now. So
So either do I.
yeah, but I'll take it off because then I can go back on it, and it'll be like taking cocaine. It'll be sick.
I don't know.
You look like a junkie.
Chocolate beans.
Jesus.
But yeah,
Coffee
V shred,
beans.
like literally, like
Yeah.
tickling, like
Bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's gone. Hey boys.
Now we can
what's
talk
the-
shit.
Yeah, now we can get demonetized. We're
Yeah.
gonna monetize with this. How you boys doing? Loving life? Loving sales?
Good.
Christian, how do you find closing while traveling?
It's good.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. What I'm doing in the summer is I'll do like a couple weeks full time and then a couple weeks like a half a day.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back a couple weeks full time, a couple weeks half a day. So I'll just travel whenever I'm planning to do half a day. So I get to do the traveling aspect. I get to take
Yeah.
time off and rest, recoup.
Good stuff.
That's cool.
I'm not a fan
How
of
long have you been
that.
traveling for?
Pretty consistently since like mid-June. So
Yeah.
not too long.
You know, a half month. I'm
Yeah,
not a
gonna
fan.
be
Maybe.
going.
I'm not a fan. Like if it's a month at a time, I
Yeah.
can manage. But when we're doing like
Not
weeks,
past
2
that.
weeks, oh fuck, man, it's tough. It's great at the start, like the novelty of it. Like I got
Mhm.
into sales, I got into online business to be able to travel.
Yep.
But like I was talking to Jacob over DMs, like the routine is so important. Like getting
Absolutely.
thrown out of
Yeah.
whack and thrown out of time zones and everything. You're like, oh fucking hell, I'm all over the
And then
place.
you get fucking bad internet or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like locked out of all your accounts because you're in a different location, you haven't put on a VPN, you're like, oh Jesus, just make it simple.
Really, that happens. I never had that. Jeez.
Yeah, I think
Use-
because if you're always in Canada, you should be all right.
Yeah.
I use LastPass as like the manager for all the stuff. So it's a good vault for when I am using VPNs and I get locked out of everything. Just use that to get back in.
Nice. But yeah, like a month, 2 months. I think ideally for me going forward, I'll do like 3-4 months at a time in different places. Like that's enough to get set up. Like take a week to get yourself set up, and then just slam calls for like 2-3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. And then you can actually have a bit of routine. You have a base, you have a gym, you've got your restaurants, you got your cafes, everything locked down, and you can actually experience somewhere and not just feel like you're on holiday.
Yeah, that's the only way I could see myself do it, and that's kind of my vision. When I would retire my girlfriend is be like, hey,
Yeah, well, you're going to be
3
going
months.
to 32 different countries a year, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll see.
One a week.
So, yeah, that's kind of like the plan. Otherwise, I can't see like being able to be productive and still like growing and progressive. You do like a month, you do a week here.
You
2
just
weeks there.
flatline. Yeah. It's like you can maintain, if you're good, you can maintain because you know you can just get on and just rock your shit. But in terms of actually getting to that next level, it's like anything else. It's like losing weight. Where
You
like,
just
if you're
plateau.
100 pounds overweight, it's really easy to lose weight. When you're like 5, it's way harder. So being able to actually progress yourself, it's tough. So I think for me, long term, it'll be like 3 different countries. Yeah. Oh, bro, I got them all day long. All day long.
I can't imagine.
I reckon
How's
like
that going?
4 months at a time in 3 different countries a year is like the move.
That'd be good. And this way you can find you have your little gym, you have a little cafe, you always go. Like you have your kind of spots that you kind of like. When we were in London for a week, I was like, all right, I know there's a Pret there. It's like awesome.
That was different because there's a Pret on every single corner.
I know.
I don't
but
even
I like
so many
those
croissants in my life.
I like those. Those are pretty good. Even their sandwiches were pretty good. So
yeah, the croissants. Those Pret croissants were my weakness. I hope my coach isn't watching this. I'm not eating croissants. I said I hope my PT isn't watching.
Fitness coach.
Yeah.
What does he do? Is it like just over chat like support, or you guys do like one-on-one too?
Yeah, there's live calls every week. I most certainly don't coach for V-Shred. I don't need the knowledge. I just need accountability. I just need to get slapped. I just need to have tracking and systems in place because otherwise I get this.
Do you track like what you eat, or you track more like the weight or the like what do you do?
All of the above. All of the above. I do now. Last week I most certainly wasn't tracking anything. I would have had a fit. But it's the last one of those trips for a long time.
You tired now?
Huh? No, I'm fine. I just like I was not 1 second of productivity that whole weekend. Like I was on calls and like closed some deals, and I was like, fuck, I don't know how the fuck that went over the line. It just did.
Yeah,
On
you just wanted to get out and do stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes
but
on
even afterwards,
Fridays.
I was just like,
That's
like-
how I feel sometimes on Fridays. Like when I have, for example, plans or something, I just want to get done with the day. Like last few calls were like just get them done. It's like
yeah.
now you just want to go and do your things.
Yeah. There's a lot of times I just do like literally 2 minutes of discovery, and then I'll just pitch and I'll be like, let's just go to town. Let's go straight to the objection so we can just get into the fun stuff. And
Do you
get
still
the-
close people with that? Doing it?
Yeah,
that?
all the time.
All the time. That's how you do V-Shred right now.
It's no, I'm trying to get more of a process now. Like at the start, when it was just a numbers game, that's pretty much how I was doing it. Because like the first month there, you basically only get all the tier 3 leads. So it's like you need to get to the sauce, you need to get to the juicy stuff as quickly as possible. Because it's 30-minute blocks. That's different now.
Yeah, and now how is it different? Because you have 45 minutes blocks now?
No, it's still 30-minute blocks, but I take my time because I know this is what I said actually on a coaching call last week. It's whenever I'm on a new offer, I just want to get as many reps as I possibly can in as short as time as I can as well. So I can start to understand the avatar, start to understand the kind of problems that people come on the call with and how to tailor my pitch and stuff around that. So
that makes sense. I want to know, guys, I'm curious about, maybe it's just like when you're a bit more tired and things like that, but do you have some days that you feel or you're more triggered easily where you can't, not you lose it, so to speak, but like you're more like short-tempered, for example, where like you'll be more nose on or a bit more like,
yeah,
I don't know,
100%.
more straight, like what are your answers, and you can feel like the response as well from the person on the other end is like, because I don't know, it's like either like you're sick of it, or maybe there's a few prospects in a row that's kind of like they're less aware, things like that, or I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense or.
No, it definitely does. I think it's only if it's ever like towards the end of my day and I would just want to get done and somebody's giving me BS, like I'm way more short with them. Like I always challenge regardless, but I'm way more like, this is how we're going to do it. Either you're going to fall in line or we're just not going to, this isn't going to go well. Either way. Yeah, I think it only happens towards the end of my days, to be honest.
Yeah, I had one day this week that was like, I looked at my day back and I was like, yeah, that was not good.
Yeah. Something's worth trying is like journaling at the end of your day just to get all that shit out of your head so you can detach from those calls and let go of it, because then you go into the next day and you're not carrying that baggage with you, you know. Just write it down.
How would you do it? You just write, yeah, this guy, blah blah, or
just brain dump. And I don't like, I'm not one of these people who like has to meditate in the morning and journal in the morning, journal in the evening and all this stuff. I'm just like, sometimes you're in your head so much that because like when you give yourself thoughts in your head, you're coming to conclusions in your head, you're making arguments in your head back and forth. It's like, just write it all down freehand and then figure it out. Look at what you have, and then you can see if you're actually overthinking things or if it's a very, very simple solution. Also having your strong five, as we used to say, having your network of guys, that you can, people who understand what you're going through, like especially people in the same industry. Like I got my boys, like I always vent thoughts to them. I shoot thoughts their way, and I'm like, am I being an idiot? Am I overthinking this? And they're like, yeah, you're being a dumbass. It's very, very simple, you know. So
yeah, well, that's good to have, like have someone kind of temp check you and be like, no dude, you're good, it happens to me, and you're kind of, okay, that's not true.
Yeah,
I think that sometimes it closes on my team. I'm like, am I the only one that's seeing this on my calls like this week?
Yeah.
Like people have no idea what we do, for example, things like that, and or that, and they're like, oh no, same. And then I look at the EOD reports, I'm like, okay, it's not just me, I'm not going crazy or something.
Yeah, it's nice too because it's like remote. It's not like you guys go out for a Christmas party or whatever it is, summer barbecue at work like you would in a normal 9 to 5. So you know, being able to
just shoot a
just
Slack
talking to your guys
message.
on your team and just jumping on calls to chat shit. like we're doing right now, live in the group. You know, it's
Yeah.
definitely valuable. It's definitely valuable.
There's a ton of stuff I would tell you, but we're live, so it's like.
Yeah,
so
we
soon.
can
I'm just kidding.
cut the live. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce in like 5 anyway.